Hi everyone, my name is Ona and I work for Aspen Adult Services. Welcome to another one of our public service announcements. A lot of our families have questions about housing, affordable housing for their disabled person in their lives. And so I sat down with Liz Mogstad at RMDC, Rocky Mountain Development Council, and we talked about their housing program. In this video, Liz talks about where their housing is, how to apply, what documents you will need, their wait lists, and when to apply. Thank you for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment and let us know how we're doing on these, or if there's a topic that you'd like for us to cover. Thank you.
My name is Liz Mogstad. I'm the Director of Affordable Housing here at Rocky Mountain Development Council. So what we do here at Rocky is we develop and then manage apartments for people of all ages. We have certain properties that are specific to seniors or people with disabilities. So all of our sites are affordable and accessible.
What are the names of the properties that are specific, that people with disabilities are eligible for?
Okay, so our properties that are specific to, well, they're specific to seniors or people with disabilities would be our Eagle Manor complex on the east side of Helena. And then we have a couple properties in Townsend Homestead Manor and Townsend Housing. There's 26 units in total up there that are also for people with disabilities or seniors. So basically it's Eagle Manor residences, and our two properties in Townsend are the ones that are specifically for people with disabilities or elderly individuals. So, but even our family properties, so we've got Red Alder Residences, which is our brand new one. There's 85 units there. And we have Ptarmigan and Pheasant Glen on the north side of town. And those are for families or people of all ages, but about half of the units are accessible still. So we have accessible units at all of our sites. So we really are keeping in mind, we're trying to make it so all of our apartments are available for everyone. And then within that, especially Red Alder, we've really tried to incorporate the universal design in how we do things. And so we're really trying to make an effort because we realize there's a shortage, especially living in a town up the hillside. We realize there's a shortage in accessible units.
So how do people apply for this type of housing for your program?
Most of our housing, we have information online, and we have basically PDF documents of the applications. That's at www.rmdc.net. The Red Alder residences you can apply for directly online. We've kind of doing a test to see how that application process works. So we're hoping soon to have all of our applications online, but you can find at least digital copies that you can print out. Or if you call our housing coordinator, Julie, she can always send one, drop one in the mail. Or you can stop by any of the sites and pick up an application as well.
Okay. And what's a good phone number for people to call if they want to get a hold of Julie and ask questions or get information?
I think the best phone number you can call Julie directly on her cell phone, which is 406-437-4411. Or you can call the main Rocky office at 406-447-1680. Either of those numbers would be good to call. But mostly you'd be talking to Julie Densmore is her name, and she's our employee here who gives out all the information on housing.
What's some of the documentation or, birth certificate, state ID, what kind of things just in general will people need?
Typically, it's a fully completed application, and that's a big one because that's what we need it all the way filled out. And then a copy of your driver's license or some sort of form state ID and social security card is what we need up front. And then what we will do is verify income. So a lot of times we may be in touch to gather documents, but a lot of times we will be contacting employers directly, or if there's a social security letter that comes out once a year, that's great to provide right away because it's just one less thing we have to collect. But usually we have to verify all the sources of income or assets that you may have.
Can you give me an idea of overall availability and how you manage your wait list and what that looks like?
So unfortunately, right now, most of our waiting lists are pretty extensive. We've just got a ton of need out there. Our Eagle Manor complex typically turns over the fastest. We just tend to have more turnover there as people are a little bit older and move on to higher level care. So that one tends to turn over more than our properties with younger people in them. But overall, it's basically a first come first serve with modifications. So if, for example, if we did have a fully accessible apartment open up, we will offer that apartment to someone who needs the features before we go to someone who doesn't on the list. So if you do happen to have a disability, there's a chance that you would move up on the list faster than someone who is able-bodied. And there are some different things with HUD and income levels, and so it's not necessarily full-on first come first serve. So you may be 17th on the list, but actually second, depending on what pops up. So it's kind of it's tricky.
Okay. If a family has a disabled child that is getting ready to graduate from high school and in that transition process, what is the best time for someone to apply for housing through RMDC?
I would say as soon as they turn 18, I would say to apply, because you can always say no, but get on all the lists. Because, for example, with our waiting list, if you're on the waiting list and you pop up and you're not quite ready to move, you can say no and you keep your spot in line, and we'll offer the next one up. So we allow you to do that 3 times before you drop to the bottom. So we really try to accommodate. We understand there's 30-day notices, and there's things pop up in life that you can't control. So we try to be as accommodating as we can. So I always tell people when they call, just get on the list. It does not hurt. We don't have any application fees. Just apply as soon as you can, or as soon as you think you might know that you need a place, because it takes a while. I think what I'd like people to know about Rocky Mountain Development Council in general and our housing sites is that our site managers are far more than a landlord. They're social workers. They help out. I watch them every day go above and beyond to help out our tenants. So it's not just a landlord-tenant relationship. Maybe it's that way on paper, but it certainly isn't when you come into our doors.